Welcome to Clippers Live Postgame presented by Hyundai here on FanDuel Sports Network. It's the Lakers over the Clippers. 135-118 here at Crypto.com Arena in downtown Los Angeles. And with this win, the Lakers clinch Group B in the Western Conference for the NBA Cup. Stan Verrett here along with Brent Barry. Brent, it was going well for a while, but the fourth quarter got away from the Clippers.
A little bit. As a Clipper faithful watcher, I was proud of the effort they had.
Really good effort.
This is one of the better games they played in terms of their competitiveness, in terms of the contributions. The guys are making the small things to make happen.
Yep.
Surviving a massive Luka Doncic first quarter.
Absolutely.
And then just sticking with it. But in the fourth quarter, some errant plays, some big shots, some defensive lapses where Austin Reeves just kept getting loose on that right baseline. And all of a sudden, the Lakers found themselves in a great offensive rhythm. The Clippers could not, got them frustrated a little bit. That boiled over.
Yep.
And it just wasn't enough.
Yeah. The top three for the for the Lakers, as good as advertised. Luka Doncic goes for 43, Austin Reeves 31, LeBron James 25. By my math, that's 99 points between three guys. And Luka Doncic got it started early in the first half, finished with 43, 7 of 12 from three, 13 assists, 9 rebounds, nearly got a triple-double, and he was attacking from the start.
You know what would be scary for the rest of the league, Stan, aside from this game, is the fact that Luka didn't have to do the things he did in the first quarter at any point for the rest of the game. I know how spectacular they were, but that's how scary and how maybe offensively dominant this Laker team can be with LeBron James back in the fold, that they can pick and choose, get this three-man action. Luka can take the game over whenever he wants to, but it seemed like they just got into a flow with the rest of their guys and were able to complement Luka's spectacular first quarter and then walk away with this win offensively.
5-point game after three, but the Lakers opened with a 14-4 run to start the fourth quarter, and the Clippers were playing uphill from there in the fourth quarter and weren't able to get it going. But on the bright side, all five starters in double figures, led by James Harden once again. 29 points for Harden, and he was making plays for his teammates as well.
Yeah, slow start for James in the first quarter. We were wondering how he would engage, and then all of a sudden James did what he does. He just starts to find his offensive rhythm, starts to find his teammates, and all of a sudden making plays and keeping this game close. And again, that first quarter being here and watching the Luka magic happen in the first, you figured, look, if the Clippers could stay within 7 or 8, they're going to be in there. And James was a big reason why they were able to stay within arm's length after the first foot.
Wasn't able to find the three-point shot. He was 0 for 8 on Sunday from 3 and 3 for 12 in this game. But again, 29 for Harden, 19 for Kris Dunn, his best game as a Clipper so far. 10 points for Ivica Zubac, 18 for John Collins, and 19 from Kawhi Leonard. So a balanced effort.
A very balanced effort, but it makes me think, Stan, about in a game like this, where the stars are out and the Lakers stars shine much brighter than the Clippers stars for tonight, at least. Two things. One is Kawhi Leonard not being able to close a game.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. That's like, if Mick Jagger can't sing the song to finish off the Rolling Stones concert, it's probably not as good a show as you'd want. The second thing is we talked about Zoo getting established in this game.
He never really did.
We didn't see that.
Right.
And there were a lot of times they double teamed him early. They were able to find some early offense in the first quarter. But I thought there were moments in the second half maybe where Ty could have buried a guy like Maxi Kleber, put him down in the post, start to generate some offense and some foul trouble down there, slow down the offense, make the Lakers grind a little bit on the physical side. That didn't play out here tonight. I know we said it was a competitive game. And Zoo played all right. He just didn't have a lot of the opportunities I thought in this game might be not so much forced, but more accentuated as the center in this game without a DeAndre Ayton.
Right.
Maybe they could have got a little more out of that.
A lot of swiping at passes, though, when the Clippers tried to get it down low.
Yeah, well, this Laker team, and credit J.J. Redick and the coaching staff, they're a disruptive group. They get a lot of deflections. They get a lot of steals. I think the speed of the game, even for Kawhi as he's coming back, there were moments in this game where Jake LaRavia and Austin Reeves and those guys, Rui Hachimura, having quick hands disrupted his flow of his offense. So he's still getting up to speed. But again, the Zubats thing, maybe getting him the ball in there, a couple more possessions might have helped the team settle and not have to keep working from behind. Never did we get the lead at any point during this basketball game.
And it ends 135-118. We mentioned Kris Dunn with the 19 points, his best scoring output as a Clipper. He got an early exit because of an altercation that he had late in the game. Slams the ball at Luka Doncic, and then here comes Jackson Hayes, and then Dunn goes back at Hayes. So Dunn gets 2 technicals. He gets ejected. Hayes gets a technical as well. What'd you see there, Brent?
Well, Kris gets away with the push here, and Luka takes exception to that. So as he walks over, Kris didn't have to do that.
Right.
Unfortunately, that was going to cost him the tee. I hope there's not anything more with the hands on the official. That's always something as players we're told not to do. In this case, Kris did that. Jackson Hayes coming in, and credit to Jackson. That's what you're supposed to do, protecting your star player. But, Chris's actions there, I thought he should have been a little bit more in control, especially when you're dealing with Luka Doncic.
Right.
It's not going to end well for you there. And so an early ejection in a game, Stan, that you mentioned, his best offensive game ever.
Yeah, he led the way early, had 7 quick points in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was huge. Knocked down some shots, unexpected. We always talk about finding some change in the couch.
Yep.
That's what happens when Kris Dunn is doing some things offensively for you. And he was pretty critical in that first quarter for them to stay in it.
Yeah, in general, it looked like it's supposed to look for the Clippers.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Just more effort, more contributions, the ball moving around. Kawhi was not as sharp as he's going to be as he works himself back into shape. But there were signs of life in this game that I think a lot of people who've been watching the Clippers as this season has unfolded that they need, especially without Derek Jones Jr., without Bogdanovich. They got the kind of competitiveness that you want from your basketball team.
But it ends 135-118 in favor of the Lakers, who clinch Group B for the NBA Cup. LeBron James, role player, but still affecting the game. We'll take a look at what he did coming up next when Clippers Live postgame rolls on. Clippers 135-118 here at Crypto.com Arena. LeBron James picks his spots now. He watches Luka Doncic take over and he picks his spots. I mean, it's a great luxury to have LeBron James as a role player.
Yeah, so interesting to watch him just be in the corner on some of these sets while Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves or Jackson Hayes or when DeAndre Ayton gets healthy, running high pick and rolls with LeBron as a spot up shooter on the weak side. But JJ Redick and his coaching staff are going to find ways to involve all 3 of these guys, which is a nightmare scenario for most defenses. And what was interesting in the third quarter is really where they established LeBron to get going offensively. He made an incredible left-hand bank shot, the runner across the lane that you saw in slow motion earlier. And the third quarter started to get aggressive, and it was sort of like, oh, okay, we can do this too. So they're trying to figure that out as LeBron himself gets back into the same shape we're talking about in conditioning of Kawhi Leonard. But man, oh man, still doing it. I mean, 25 points and controlling the tempo. And then I hate to say it, but it's a pretty cool moment where he's subbing out and Bronny's subbing in. I mean, that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, the Laker crowd here trying to get Bronny a bucket late in the game. It didn't happen, but they're always excited to see him get in. John Collins contributing offensively for the Clippers tonight.
Yeah, opportunistic in what John had available to him. Just 8 shots in the game, playing 34 minutes and kind of just waiting in the corner, knocking down a few 3-pointers with the 4 of 6 from the line. He got the 5 rebounds, just 1 turnover, which is great because I think he was trying to find his footing playing with Zoo and playing with James in early games where he had a lot of turnovers. So more opportunistic for John tonight, not a ton of opportunities to really go at Rui, and they're not going to do anything to feature him in one-on-one matchups. So I thought John played a solid game for the Clips tonight.
Yeah, Ty Lue talks about spacing with Collins all the time, and he found his spot in the corner, 4 for 6 from 3 tonight. So good contribution from Collins. But it's the Lakers 135-118 over the Clippers. Let's check in with Ty Lue now and get his post-game comments.
The games you needed from guys like John Collins, Kris Dunn offensively. Why wasn't that enough tonight?
Because we couldn't get stops. I thought, whatever we try to do with Luka, switch, fire, blitz, like he just picked us apart. It's just a tough cover, just trying to, mix it up, show him different looks. But he's a great player, and he took advantage of everything we tried to do tonight. And but just seeing KD get going, see John Collins get going, that was good to see. I thought playing a small ball, that JC set more screens, running the screens, I thought was really good for us and really effective. And we just got to continue to just keep building off that.
He's been struggling shooting the ball from three. I think it was 31% coming into this game. Was there anything that first quarter you guys maybe could have done differently, or was he just, seeking out mismatches and was on a roll?
Say it again?
Was there anything you guys could have done differently, or was he just seeking out mismatches and got on a roll?
No, I think, just the penetration of getting into the paint and then making the right play. They were helping and loading up on James and Kawhi and just making a simple play. And he was a recipient of some, wide open threes.
Can Kawhi be the defender that you need him to be for this defense to get better?
Yeah, I think so.
What's the time frame that you can have for him to, take on some of those assignments where heads of snakes aren't going off? Like you saw Luka win his big game.
I mean, I think
yesterday.
Yeah, I think when he gets healthy, 100%, and then also, when he's able to get his minutes up, I think it'll be better for him. But just getting his legs, only his second game back, and to put that kind of pressure on him, I think it'd be unfair, right now this early. So just let him get, 100% healthy, and then he will have to have some of that responsibility.
18 games in, you guys are 5-13. How does this get fixed?
How's it what?
How's it get fixed?
Well, I think it gets fixed by, the first three quarters we played, I thought was, really solid, basketball. And then the things that have been hurting us, we had a couple turnovers. We were up one, had the ball, had a chance to go up, steal for a dunk, and then had a couple more of those, and then offensive rebounding. They hurt us about just going to the glass and us not being able to rebound in basketball. They got a lot of easy putbacks that really hurt us, especially when we had to lead up one and then just kind of snowball from there.
But what has to change for this script seems basically a nightly basis for you guys, where there's a couple quarters you guys play well and then just unravels. Like, what has to change to where that doesn't happen?
Well, I mean, we got to play better. I mean, teams are better than we are right now. It's part of it, we got to continue, like JBG said before the game, play hard as hell, talk loud as, can't say that word, but, we got to continue to do it. I thought our guys had the right intent and did it, and we got beat by a better team right now. They're playing at a high level, and, we weren't able to sustain like we've been having a problem, like you said, either third quarter or fourth quarter, where we just kind of run out of gas.
It's the Lakers with the win, and they clinch Group B in the NBA Cup. So they're on to the knockout rounds. Not over for the Clippers. They can still get a wild card. We'll talk about that coming up next. Welcome back to Clippers Postgame Live. 135-118. Lakers over the Clippers tonight. And the Lakers clinch Group B in the NBA Cup. So the Lakers moving on to the knockout round. Things not over for the Clippers just yet. A couple of things happening. The Memphis Grizzlies play New Orleans tomorrow night, and the Clippers now with a minus 15 point differential. So a lot depends on what happens when the Grizzlies play New Orleans. The Lakers moving on. The Clippers will find out on Friday what they need to do when they take on the Grizzlies at Intuit Dome to figure out what goes on. They may need to run up the score, Brent.
Stan, I'm going to ask you to do some of my travel, the way you just described all the difficulties around the cup system. Yeah. I want you to do my holiday travel schedule, if you could possibly do that.
It's complicated.
It is complicated.
And we don't have all the information
we'll
yet.
wait on Memphis tomorrow, the result tomorrow, and then see what Friday's all about. But look, aside from the cup, and as exciting as the cup can be for those that continue on, for the Clippers, I mean, these are two home games. They've been gone a long time.
Yep.
I know they're back in L.A. tonight playing, but this is not their building.
No.
Getting back into it for Friday and Saturday, where you have an opportunity where you have to really focus in on obviously the opponent you're playing, but really the two games. These are two games. I don't know. It's early in the season, but I feel like these are must-have games. You're coming home. You got to win these games and get that feeling after your Thanksgiving on Thursday.
Yep.
You got to get that feeling back into it, what it takes to win and what that feels like before you go back out on a really, really long road trip back to the East Coast. So Friday and Saturday, massive game for the Clippers. Hopefully some guys who are banged up have a chance to get back. Maybe Bogdanovich has a chance to get back.
Yep.
I know Derek Jones Jr. is continuing to progress. That's going to be a little while, but healthy means winning. And Friday and Saturday, it would be nice to get healthy.
Yep. It'll be nice to not see Luka Doncic after tonight, too.
Most opponents are saying that.
He was special. He was really, really special tonight from the very beginnings. All right, so now Friday, Clippers back at it, taking on Jaren Jackson Jr. and the Grizzlies in their final group play game for the NBA Cup. Again, we'll know the point differential situation after Memphis plays New Orleans tomorrow night in their next group play game. But tonight, it's the Lakers over the Clippers, 135-118. All five Clipper starters in double figures, led by James Harden's 29, but Luka Doncic with 43, Austin Reeves 31, LeBron James with 25. The three stars combined for 99 points, and too much for the Clippers to overcome. For our Clippers Live crew, Stan Verrett with Brent Barry saying good night from downtown L.A.